Welcome back. We're going to go into part two of Ted Ground's InnoCentive Challenge Solutions from 2014 to 2023. This is part two that takes us into the year 2015 and some of the work I was doing for writing solutions for InnoCentive challenges. This first one here is a very simple device called the refractor cap. And its purpose is to measure the fuel oil ratio in a tank container that has a mixture of fuel and oil for two-cycle engines with a target of a 0.2% accuracy. And it's all based on the refractive index of light in the oil fuel mixture. Pretty simple. So you can pause this and read the full abstract. The average proposal that I wrote was about 25 pages. So over the years, I wrote about 2,500 pages, I'd say. And my last InnoCentive challenge that I wrote was in 2023. So I plan to, now I've skipped a few challenges that I didn't think were really worth publishing, or I had certain reasons for not including them here. So we won't get to exactly 95 as I had speculated earlier. So we'll continue on to the next slide. All right, this next one is from February 18th of 2015. It involves making crispy snacks, like chips, out of chia seeds or chia seed meal. And the suggestion here is to use energy efficient microwave vacuum frying to control the texture, the crispiness, and the water content. And if you know anything about chia seeds, they absorb so much percentage weight of their weight in water. They really absorb water and hold it, and that was the target here to do that. Remember, I don't make these challenges up. I'm simply responding to them in competition with hundreds of other or thousands of other folks who are taking a look at this and submitting their own idea for the solution. And that's what I did for a number of years, from 2014 to 2023. So you can pause this and read the abstract right here. We'll go on to the next slide. This proposal is about a three-tiered approach to detect and delineate underground voids. These can potentially become sinkholes, and of course they're hazards. And the way that I approached this was to start out with aerial surveys from a survey plane using either LiDAR or infrared equipment, or both, looking at the geomorphology of the area to see if there's any trends in fault lines and that sort of thing, and then using a portable ground level geotechnical equipment in which you could rapidly make arrays that would map out the subsurface. This is not ground penetrating radar, by the way. It's called frequency domain electromagnetic, or FDEM, geotechnical method. So you can pause the slide here and read the whole thing. This proposal is entitled Basalt Fiber Polyimide and Related Polymer Composites for Durable Protective Film Coatings to Protect Industrial Products Exposed to Coronal Discharges for Extended Periods of Time. Corona discharges, of course, involve arcing or sparking, an electrical spark. Bottom line is, and you may discover this or get a hint of it, is that I'm a big fan of using basalt fiber in polymer composites because basalt is it's cheap. It's on Earth, it's on Mars, it's on the Moon, and it can be made, and it's stronger than fiberglass. So because of its radiation and chemical resistance, its wide functional temperature range, its mechanical properties, and high dielectric strength, polyimide is a polymer matrix for a fiber reinforced composite in this proposal, and using basalt fiber as the fiber, and incorporated up to 70% by weight of the proposed composite. You can pause it here and read the whole thing as you wish. As you can see maybe from the last slide, which was written March 8th of 2015, I'm kind of on a roll here in March of 2015, in that I'm also proposing this composite, and it involves basalt and polyimide as well. So this is to replace. It's depending on the economics of this, which I did not study the economics, the profitability of this, but it turns out it's a means of developing a new generation of automotive tires for vehicles. There's several analogous or similar steps in tire manufacturing as currently practiced, and that is discussed in part, so you can take a look at the entire abstract right here. By the way, if any of you have interest in this and you have any questions or comments, I don't really need critiques because the proposal's already been written. It's done. It's a done deal. So I'm looking back in history and just sharing this with you, because all the ones that I'm showing you here, I still own the exclusive intellectual property rights to. So I was thinking, well, maybe somebody's out there that might be interested. So let me know by contacting me through the YouTube channel, or by Facebook, or on the X platform. Okay, next slide. This is another proposal that came shortly after the previous one in March 22nd of 2015. This is about plastic laminate spacers made of butyl adhesive and low-density polyethylene plastic shims, applied with a factory automation system on oriented strand board panels to ensure proper spacing of those as wall sheathing for new construction. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You can go to you can pause it and read the entire proposal, or the abstract here. So next slide. This proposal was submitted in April the 3rd, 2015, and it's a novel applications for nanofiber technology. Nanofiber, those are really tiny fibers. And the title here is Electrospun Chitosan Nanofiber Applications for Wound Healing and Tissue Regeneration. It can be a media for long-term drug delivery, nutrient storage and transport, structural scaffolding for regenerating cells, and exclusion barrier against chronic bacterial biofilm infection. You can pause this and read the entire thing, but this is one of my favorites. I think this could really help in the healing process. This next one was submitted April the 2nd of 2015, and it was submitted as a challenge from the Department of Human Services, I guess, or Homeland Security, I'm sorry. And it was called Where Am I and Where's My Team? Indoor Tracking of the Next Generation First Responder. I came up with an idea. Maybe this is already, somebody's already taken this and run with it. It has been a few years. but the title of it is Combining High Resolution Portable Radar RFID with Synthetic Aperture Technology for 3D coordinate tracking and a real-time faceplate laser display system for on-site deployment and indoor tracking of the next generation of first responder teams. It involves basically projecting images onto the inside of the faceplate, and so there would be some modification to the equipment, which would have to be approved, by the regulation authorities. But it would allow a team to know where their team members are and where they are in a disaster situation that could involve fire and smoke and that sort of thing. So pause it and have a look and see what you think. This proposal was submitted on May 8th of 2015, and it's entitled Chitin and Chitosan Can Replace or Improve Cellulose-Based Corrugated Fiberboard or Cardboard that is humidity resistant, biodegradable, low cost, mass producible, and you can generate it from recycled waste organic matter. And you could make it out of electrospun chitin-based fibers and laminated chitin-based films. I think you'll conclude that I'm kind of a fan of chitin and chitosan and the process of electrospinning fibers for various purposes. I mean, I had a previous proposal that involved helping the healing process, so you could make bandages out of it and that sort of thing. And in this one, we can theoretically produce cardboard from recycled materials. Have a look. Okay, this is the last proposal that we'll be talking about for part 2 of Ted Ground's InnoCentive Challenge Solutions. Skipping ahead a couple of months to July 6th of 2015, I decided to not include a few challenges for various reasons. And so this one this was a fun one. This is a NASA challenge called Space Pioneering, Achieving Earth Independence. So this was a fun and rewarding one for me personally. I'm very much interested in space exploration and colonization of Mars. So the title of this, well, basically paraphrasing it, is to build a frontier, space frontier free market economy and plan for successful life support systems that approach total regeneration of valuable materials that would constitute achieving Earth independence. So this particular proposal, I'm going to show you 2 slides. The first slide here shows something that I sketched up of a greenhouse, an aquaponics greenhouse, where you can see through the roof for illustration purposes. But the proposal, this was kind of a long proposal, but it seeks to provide guidelines for the means of approaching total regenerative life support systems that can, over time, be developed from an initial human habitat of, let's say, 4 to 6 human beings on Mars or on other places, to greater numbers of people living in economically viable communities established in space or beneath the surface of Deimos, Phobos, Mars, and the Moon, that sort of thing, as well as in space stations. So this first picture here shows the aquaponics greenhouse, and let's see if I can go to the next one. Yes, the next one is a kind of a diagram, a schematic of how this could start out. Now, this is just a speculation, it's a rough idea, but you start out with 6 adult human beings, 12 egg-laying chickens. You have an anaerobic digester to help recycle all the nutrients. There's a living technology water storage and treatment system, which involves duckweed, algae, and high surface area, fluidized bed, high surface area mineral substrates, uh, such as sand and gravel. Uh, then you take in UV sterilizer is involved in the last step. Then we have a recirculation aquaculture system, or RAS, with fish and polyculture species such as red claw crayfish. The inputs there are duckweed algae and algal turf from the living technology module. And then all kinds of things can be grown this way in an aquaponic crop garden. Vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes. Uh, you can even grow earthworms for the fish and the chickens. And this is just sort of a recirculating or recirculating system. And the habitat household inputs are vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes, fish, chicken eggs, treated water, and you can even generate some biogas or methane for cooking, for example, in habitat and surface transport vehicle fuel cells. That's it. That's it for now. We'll look for part 3 later on. Thanks. And if you wish to contact me, you can contact me through the YouTube channel, I believe, and then either Facebook or the X platform. Have a good day.